queen g5, h5. Even if the queen was on d5, the trade queen g5, h2 would be in white's favor. But now after king h8, it's not valid to go h5 because g5 would be open. Oh, e4 pawn?
And 2 seconds left, only in 1 second in the end. Star has to speed up. It's only a 1 second increment, so she can't go down in the clock. 1 second.
Why she doesn't take the e4 pawn? Now it's not possible anymore, but now black is doing very good. Oh my god, wait!
Oh, she flagged! She flagged.
Yeah, it was mate. Oh.
Welcome everybody to the first Women's Speed Chess Championship here on Chess.com and Twitch. I'm thrilled to be joined by the one and only Sopiko Guramishvili, my partner in crime, longtime partner in crime. How are you doing, Sopiko?
Hello everybody, I'm so excited to be alongside with you and to host this amazing event. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. I can't wait. This is the Speed Chess Championship for female players. As you guys know, the Speed Chess Championship has been an epic event hosted by Chess.com already for the last couple of years. Even the world champion Magnus Carlsen participated and hopefully will participate this year too. But today we will focus on the qualifier event for the Speed Chess Championship for female players. There's a 20K prize found for the Women's Speed Chess Championship, so that eighth spot that we are offering today is very valuable. Sopiko, what do you think about the format? We're going to cover 10 rounds and the time control is 3 minutes plus 1 second increment. How do you see that time control yourself as a player?
I love to play Blitz, and I think that it's going to be exciting. And I think that it's very important that we have this 1 second increment because, mouse sleeps and everything happens and flagging is not available because you have 1 second more. And if you're queen up, it's possible to mate somebody. So I think we will have very nice games to follow. We have pretty strong tournament. Mm-hmm. A lot of strong players joined the event, and the winner actually will play the World Blitz Women Champion, Ekaterina Lachno.
Indeed, the top seed of the Women's Speed Championship is Katerina Lagno, and today we will know who will be her opponent. The first match of the Women's Speed Championship will be on May the 22nd. And as we said, today's qualifier, the winner of today's qualifier will be facing Katerina Lagno. We will have an 8-player field in total at the Women's Speed Championship. Sopiko and myself will be covering all of the streams, so I hope that you guys are looking forward to it. Let me give a shout out to all of you watching on Chess TV and on Twitch. We are looking at the chat, so make sure to say hi to us and tell us what you think about this new event hosted by Chess.com. Because how do you feel about Twitch? I know that you don't have your channel yet, but everyone is asking if you will be on Twitch soon. I'm trying to make Sopiko have her own channel.
I think somebody will force me to, I have pretty busy schedule, but I think that I will find time because with you, Anna, it's impossible not to have Twitch. I escaped for now, but I think soon I'm going to have my channel also. And I'm very sorry for now that I'm very new to this, but I'm going to learn.
She's going to do great. And I'll be at her place in a few weeks. So if not before that, guys, once I'm in Sopiko's house, I'm going to set up that channel all by myself, even if she doesn't want to. But yeah, I'm very happy to see you. Even though you're new to Twitch, I think you have learned a lot during Vaikanze, the Tata Steel Chess broadcast. And you already know what poggers means, which is important.
And I know how to dab. So that's...
Yes. And look, just now that you mentioned dabbing, your co-host from Vaikanze, Grandmaster Robert Hess, is with us, and he's saying, Sopiko, don't apologize for anything.
Thank you, Robert. But most exciting, it was that Robert dabbed me. Okay, I was new, but Robert says, no, I never dab. Are we going to dab? So, yeah.
You'll need to teach me how to dab. I don't know how to dab.
Oh, you will learn. We'll do it together when you're here.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to that. The games will begin in about a minute. So far, I see 46 players registered. Anyone can still join. If you're a female player, click on that join button at the tournament tab. And I can't wait to see the entire field. I heard that Alexandra Botas will be participating too. I hope Alex is here. And I'm rooting, of course, for Alexandra to qualify. Hi, Cold Player. Hi, Max, Benjamin. I see most of you here from our regular viewers and moderators. Shout out to all of you, and thanks for being here with us. The first games have just begun. Sopiko, let's jump in and look at some of the top games. I see WGM Anna with the white pieces from Ukraine facing Mashenka 97. If you see that game as well, let me know, and we will join right in. This is the first round, 10 rounds in total, and the time control, as we mentioned, is 3 minutes plus 1 second increment.
Yep. So we have the game of Anna, and it is King's Indian, isn't it?
Yes. Let us know more about the King's Indian, as you are an expert in D4 openings.
Oh. No, I'm sorry, because it started with E4 and D4, so there is no C4. We don't have King's Indian, but we have the Pirk.
Yes, it could have been the King's Indian, but I also have just looked at the move order and the same structure. So with black, the King's Indian and the Pirk's defense have the same structure, depending on whether it was 1E4 or 1D4. It can lead to similar middle games. How do you see these positions where white has more space, but black is aiming to counter-attack in the center and now has fianchettoed both of her bishops?
Generally, I like that white has space, and I like it for white that she can push pawns so far and get everything, all squares. But I think Pirk is very nice opening for blitz, because you have to be really fast to get some advantage, and it's pretty tricky one. So at the moment, white has a lot of space. What do you think? Would you prefer to be with white pieces?
I'm in love with space advantage in any kind of chess position, so I would be happy with white. But I also agree with you that here, in blitz especially, a defense like the Pirk's defense is a good choice, because you have counterplay now. You can see that black is already counterattacking in the center, trading on d5, and then she will try to attack the e5 pawn as well by developing the knight to d7. So This could be a very tricky position, and with only 2 minutes left for both players, this could go either way. I want to look at some of the other top boards as well, so that we have a view on who are the top players. I see, let me have a look at the rating list. So we have Nurgul Salimova from Bulgaria, woman international master. She's the highest rated player. I think we should have a look at her game.
Ooh, a lot of things happened there. Italian. I like Italian very much. But
it goes through very quickly the first couple of moves, but we are already in the middle game. So this was the Gioco Piano, all the Italian opening. And the current position is after 14, queen to b3. What do you think of this position and this queen bishop battery on the a2 g8 diagonal?
I generally like white's position because I think that it's important to have space advantage on the queen side, and I don't really like the black's bishop on f6 because I think that it disturbs black's initiative, possible initiative on the king side connected with f5.
Mm-hmm. A trade happened on f4 as we were discussing the position. White immediately took on f4 and now jumped to e4 with the knight, attacking the bishop.
Yeah, I think she was forced to take on f4, which was a bit pity because we didn't want to give up our 2 bishops. But d3 pawn was pretty weak for white, so that's why this trade happened.
Indeed, and black defended the b7 pawn with rook to b8, which is quite a passive move, but she didn't really have a choice because this b7 pawn is a backward pawn, it's a weakness, and white was about to capture it since the knight was also going to be hanging after queen takes b7. So far I think this is looking great for white, and I'm going to have a brief look at the other top boards as well, and also I think the Twitch chat would love to see how is Alexandra doing, so I'm also trying to bring up her game as soon as I can find her. The second player by rating is Jazzy71 from Iran. She's playing with the white pieces against Filiz Osmanova from Germany.
We have endgame. She's piece up.
Yeah, she is a piece up, which is good news. Normally, if you're a piece up, you're happy. Black, as a compensation, has this g3 protected pass pawn, but is that enough, Sopiko? Is it enough to compensate for a piece?
I don't think so. Though we have to say that it's definitely some compensation for black because now the bishop on g2 looks like a pawn. Mm-hmm. But it's have a bishop because then we would be mated.
It does look like a pawn, you're right, but luckily it protects the h1 square, and white is about to double rooks on the c5, so it's looking good for Jazzy71. Let's move on to our number 3 seed, Elina Danielian, Grandmaster. I'm going to follow her game now and see how she is doing with the black pieces against Megan Lee.
Right.
Wow. Elina always goes for aggressive attacking chess, and she did so in this game as well. The current position, she's got a really strong pressure on both the G and H files. But what's going on in terms of all these sacrifices? She's a piece down.
Yes, she looks like a piece down, and white's just won after check. Yeah.
This is the first upset of the round after queen e6 check. If the king goes to b8, bishop takes e5, picks up the queen. Wow.
Elina, well done to Magali C.
Yeah, good job, Megan. This was a very important game, of course, for the woman international master with the white pieces. Not an easy opponent when you face the number 3 seeded Elina Danielian, top member of the Armenian Olympic team.
Right. And we have also very interesting endgame going on in Alina Kashlinskaya's game.
Let me pull that up in a moment.
The European Championship, individual championship. So she has to be in good shape, but
yes, and by the time we say she must be in good shape, she's a piece and 2 pawns down, so she's about to resign. Another upset. What a start. The underdogs are winning in the first round.
Amazing. yeah, this is going to be lost.
She doesn't resign. She's hoping for a stalemate, but this is game over. It's a queen, a bishop, and the second queen is about to join the board right now. Kashlinski does not resign.
Right.
Okay, mate next move with queen h3. Congratulations to Julina97. Wow.
Great.
I'm amazed. Each time we look at one of the top seeds game, I feel like it's a curse that we are bringing on them, because once we join, already bad. It's a piece down. It's a queen down. What's going on with all the top seeds?
Right. We shouldn't say anything.
Yes.
But we still have the first board going on. Queen's endgame it is. The game between Divya Deshmukh and Sakchapak. Oh my God. I'm so bad in pronouncing the names.
Shaktapak. That actually means, it's in Hungarian and it means chess sharks.
Oh.
So chess sharks with the black pieces facing Divya. Divya has 3 pawns up, so it's a great position for the Indian player. Queen endgame, so she still has to be careful about perpetual checks, but she's doing very well controlling the squares where black can give a check with the queen. So g4 takes away the h5 square. A few more checks are coming, but I think she will be converting this into a full point.
So this will be another upset because Sakchapak actually is our top seed. She has 26-02 on Chess.com.
Indeed. So many upsets right in the first round. Shaktapak is Anna Maria Marjanovic. She's one of the top players of Hungary. She is about to enter the Olympic team of Hungary. By rating, she would have already qualified, but I think this time she will be part of the Olympic team. She's one of our youngest talented players in Hungary, and she is about to lose this game to Divya Deshmukh. So that just goes to show what a strong field this is.
And I like the technique that black is using. It's very important to have the king close because then white is also threatening to mate, and white won.
Indeed, congratulations to Divya. We have seen so many upsets. Every time we look at one of the top seed, it's not going well for the favorites. Let's see if they can climb back. It's 10 rounds in total, so they still have a chance, but it's not looking good so far for the absolute favorites of the event.
Yeah, I agree, but lots of rounds, as you mentioned, so it's blitz, and first maybe they need to warm up, and then we'll see what's going to happen. It's very important to win this event because the winner will play the match against World Blitz champion, once again, Katerina Lachnau.
Indeed. So this is for the qualification spot. I've just brought up Alexandra's position since you guys have been asking in the Twitch chat. Of course, Alexandra Bota is one of the top streamers on Twitch, a good friend of mine, as everybody knows. She's also fighting for that qualification spot. And in this game, she's playing with the white pieces against Ethyl Alcohol, interesting username for woman international master Ethyl Alcohol from the Philippines. I had to look up that flag.
Right.
It's still the opening, and this time it is a King's Indian. If you have the game, Sopiko, do you know this variation of the King's Indian that Alexandra has chosen for the game? So it's Alexandra Bota as the username as well, with the white pieces against Ethyl Alcohol.
I did. I played Samish myself a very long time ago, and I'm generally playing lots of things against King's Indian, but I think that it's pretty solid and at the same time very active opening. And it went well for Alexandra.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm loving the space that she has grabbed. Such good control of the center, as it often happens against the King's Indian, but this time she's also bringing in the knight, putting pressure on the c7 pawn, and I think it's already trouble for black, because how can she defend everything that's hanging? The c file is open, so she can bring a rook to the c file, attack the knight on c5, and then the pawn is in trouble on c7.
Right. It's very nice to have a very strong pawn in the center, which is d5 pawn. And generally problem for black in this structure is the bishop on g7. As we know, black is trying his best to do everything and try to trade this bishop. But we can see that this e5 pawn, it really closes the bishop on g7.
Yes, Alexandra has a great position. We're going to come back to her games in the future as well. For now, we will say that she has a good position. All of you fans of Alexandra, she's doing well. We're going to have a look at Nurgul Salimova. She's one of the top players, as you mentioned. She's playing against Josephine Heinemann from the Olympic team of Germany. Nurgul with the black pieces. Oh, I wonder what happened to her position in the opening, because what we see right now on the board after bishop d7 is concerning from black's perspective. Sopiko, what do you think?
Yeah, I think something went wrong for black, because the bishop b3 and knight g5, it's very good for white to put pressure on f7, and rook e7 is really weird. Don't you think so? Though I don't like the last move d takes e5, because I think that it would be nice to keep the tension in the center.
So you wouldn't have taken as white on e5, but instead maybe consider other moves that can put pressure on black, such as f4. I agree with you that this releases some of the pressure, d takes e5, that white has chosen. And after knight takes e5, finally this knight is also protecting the f7 square. So it's not looking as dangerous. Although, sorry, I managed to click at the very beginning of the game, so I messed it up. I wanted to show, clumsy Anna is back in town. This is the current position. I will not click anywhere so that we can focus on what's going on the board right now. Sopiko, your thoughts about the position after bishop a2?
First of all, I want to say that Anish always tells me about my games that first you have to develop all your pieces, put everything in the center, and then try to act. And this is what happened, I think, in this game. The rook on a1 was not in game, so I would prefer instead of taking on e5 and changing the structure to put everything first into the center and then think of action. At the moment, I don't think white is doing that great because the file is open, and it is pawn on a4, still an extra pawn, though it doesn't really matter. But it's blitz and it's going up and down. What do you think? After e5, I suddenly like white's position.
White is going all in. She's about to open the d5. She's saying that this is my chance. After d takes e5, she's counting on a discovered attack with the knight jump. And it's only 11 seconds left for Nurgul Salimova. Salimova, as we mentioned, she's one of the top players in the field, and she has just lost an exchange. White is not even taking the rook, because that would have been a check. Knight takes b6, queen takes b6. Instead, she took on e5, and the f file is opening up. I would be very surprised if there's nothing concrete. Rook takes f6 was an option because h7 was hanging.
h7 was hanging. It was mate, wasn't it? But
if we stop for a second, rook takes f6 instead of capturing the rook, and then it's mate in 2. Josephine missed this chance, and instead what we have on the board,
I think it still works. f6, rook g6, right?
Yeah, she gave a check on the back rank. 5 seconds left for Nurgul and a minute and a half for Josephine. So she has time to think about this, but I believe she has missed a very concrete forcing line.
Yeah. And but it still looks good.
Indeed. So she has an exchange up, but black has 2 pawns and a minor piece for the rook. So it's not that clear cut. Of course, it's still a lot of pressure, and she's coming in with rook d8. She should be winning this game, but she can also blunder. There will be a check on f1 if she moves the rook.
I think it's still nice to move the rook and pin the bishop, because then it's just one check on f1, and then we can create some kind of maybe battery with bishop b1 and queen d3.
She's listening to you, and Nurgul is down to 3 seconds. We will not abandon this game because this is going down the wire. Anything can happen with only 3 seconds left. She can flag any moment. That could be a huge blunder. So we are not going to any other board right now. We're going to stay here. 1 second left.
My God.
1 second again. Knight back to d7. Don't repeat moves, Josephine. You can try to win this against the top rated.
Knight b6. 0.6
seconds. She made her move with 0.7.
Jack, bishop d3. But problem for black is not only time, but the position as well.
Unfortunately for Nurgul, you're right. This is pressure on the clock and also over the board, she has to speed up and try to go for some tricks. I think the only thing that can help black here is a blunder, almost blunder, queen g3. Queen is
Right.
attacking the bishop. I'm really getting nervous here.
Ooh, and this knight might hang because we have bishop on d3, and after some queen e2, queen h5 might come at some point. But we have to really praise the skills of black, because she's playing really fast. From 0.6 seconds, she went to 4 seconds.
Indeed, and that means that the two players are now really close. They are both down the clock. 2 seconds left for black, 16 seconds for Josephine. Anything can happen in this game. Just one mouse slip and the game is over for both sides. Black is still worse, but I would not be...
Oh, rook h5!
Yeah, rook takes h5. Beautiful tactical motive, winning a queen. And Josephine wins the game. Another upset.
Applause for white. It was very nice game from the beginning till the end.
I'm just going to show the moment where she won the queen. So queen d4 was a trap that black didn't realize, threatening rook takes h5. She pushed f3, and after rook takes h5, this is a check and attacking the queen at the same time. If you play king to d7 to protect the queen, white can go rook h7 check to give up the rook, and then you take on f6. What a game by Josephine.
Yeah, it's exciting. And now I think that, I really want to join the tournament as well and play myself.
I think you still have time to hop in and win the tournament, Sopiko. I have faith in you. Let's check in with Elizabeth Petz, who was playing. Oh, she has just finished her game against Miaoloi 91. She has won. Elizabeth being also one of the heavy favorites to qualify for the Women's Speed Chess Championship 8th spot that we are offering today at the qualifier. I'm going to see who else is still playing. Mashenka 97. All the games are finishing from round 2. So Mashenka has just won against Tashik. And
how did Alexandra do?
Good question. I need to check the leaderboard. She's now starting her game against Carla Heredia. Carla was also at the Pro Chess League finals this weekend in San Francisco. It's good to see both of them competing for the qualification spot. Yeah. I'm going to open Alexandra's score on the other computer before I mess things up. And in the meantime, if you want to talk us through this French defense, Sopiko.
Oh, this is not the one I'm recommending. But, you're the expert. You're the expert of French. And I see Alexandra is copying you as well, playing French. Guys, come on, play Najdorf.
No, Alexandra, stick to the French defense. You guys know that the French defense is my favorite opening. Alex also has been fond of the French defense for a very long time, but she's playing the McCatchon, a variation that I don't play often. I find it too risky for my style, but I think it fits Alexandra's style. So I'm hoping for the best. I think Grandmaster Jon Ludwig Hammer is behind this preparation. So we shall see how good is that Norwegian opening theory.
Oh, he must be really good.
We're going to look at some of the other top boards as well. I think one of the current leaders is Josephine after winning that game. So let's see how she's doing now. We have just witnessed how she took down one of the top favorites of the field. And now she's playing. Yeah, she's playing against Mashenka 97. The Pierce defense has been very popular in these past 2 rounds of the Women's Speed Chess Championship.
And I guess White's most popular choice is to go f4 against Burke. Though I myself find it very, very aggressive. I prefer to play knight f3, bishop g5, queen d2, and then try to trade the g7 bishop, but f4 is very nice for blitz.
I agree with you. I checked in the meantime on the other computer, Alexandra's previous results. She lost the previous games, but I'm sure she will bounce back. It's 10 rounds in total, so everyone asking about Alexandra in the chat, she's going to do well. I have full faith in her. 8 more rounds to go. It's a 10-round event in total. Anything can happen. In terms of this position by Josephine, I think she's doing great. Look at that knight on d5, a monster.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And after queen takes d4, complete control of the center. Black is undeveloped, and she's struggling to develop the king side and castle. She'll have to go knight h6 in order to castle king side.
But that knight comes to f5. Will it bother us?
Good question if this is something that White should be worried about. So far, she's saying that, hey, I'm up development, I've got the initiative, so she just castled queenside, controlling the d5 now with the rook. And d takes e5. She doesn't even bother taking back on e5, but captures the b4 pawn instead. The bishop is hanging, and there are all sorts of discovered attacks because of the d file. This is looking terrible for black.
Horrible. This looks horrible for black, and black hasn't castled yet, so we see that it's really important to finish the development and then start the action, because such disasters might happen.
I agree with you. This position is looking very bad already for Mashenka 97. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is over in a few moves. So we may want to have a look at another board. Josephine doing very well to go 3 out of 3, one of our leaders.
Right.
Another player that has 2 out of 2 is Kaisa Chess. If you look at the leaderboard, Kaisa Chess is on second place at the moment. She's playing against Megan. Megan leave with the white pieces against Kaisa Chess.
Oh, endgame.
Yeah, I'm loving it. This is where our viewers would say, go to a more exciting position. But hey, this is exciting. Look at the h5, black and double rooks. And then, yeah.
That's exciting just because the h file is open. Otherwise, what's so exciting about this? But h file is open. That's very important.
The h file, yeah.
Might go on with h3, bishop h3.
Can we sacrifice your Miss Tactics? Let us know. Can we sacrifice on h3?
I'm afraid not, because the king will eventually escape with f2, e3. So unless we don't have pawn on f4, I don't think we can sacrifice.
Yes, and that's why f3 was a good idea by white. If she had played anything else, rook h8, h3, this would have been a different story. g4 would have been possible without the pawn being on f3, and then black would have won the pawn on the h file and the game. Now, instead, what happened? f3, a smart move to stop black from going g4.
And I'm not sure about f2. I thought that it would be nicer to play king f2, king d3 first. As we know, the first endgame rule is that bring your king to the center.
Listen to Sopiko. She's very smart. Listen to her. Activate your king in the endgame. That's going to be one of your most important pieces in any endgame position. So king f2, king e3, I fully agree with you, would have been a good continuation for Megan. Instead, she went rook f2, and the position is not as interesting as it was before, although they are heading toward a king and pawn endgame or a rook endgame. King and pawn endgame is still in the air. Rook takes d2. And
it's very interesting how's the pawn endgame, because it looks like that if we trade everything and the c pawn will come to d5, then the b5 pawn is kind of controlling all the queenside pawns.
You're right. And this is opposition right now with both kings standing in their ideal position, which means that white can't go king e3. That would lead to king c4, black infiltrating the position. So they are standing still, waiting for the other king to move away.
But I think black has to be a bit careful, because white has the h pawn, and he should not go too much on the queen side because of h4, h5 passer pawn.
Definitely, that could be an outside pass pawn, and white is going for it. Black reacts with f4 check. Was this a blunder by white? She missed that f4 was an option? Because now
the passer is gone.
Yeah, e4, and black gets in with her king. Black is winning.
Black is winning. Black is totally winning. Now probably anything wins, like king d3 also wins, or e2 and king d3 right now.
Oh, she does not play king d3, and we are back to an equal position. As you guys can see, the bar on the left side, it's equal one more time.
Oh my God. That was a terrible mouse slip, because nobody would go king e5.
Definitely, that was a huge mistake.
Oh, draw.
And it's a draw. What a game. Initially, it was draw. Then white had some chances. Then black had a chance after white missed f4 check. And in the end, it's a draw.
It is.
Whew. Exciting games. That's what we were hoping for. And here we have it. This was one of the top boards between Kaisa Chess and Megan Lee. Now they both have 2.5 out of 3. Another player I see on 2 out of 2 is Mashenka 97. This is the game we earlier checked. So it's Josephine. We are back in this game. It's the top board. Josephine Heinemann with the white pieces against Mashenka 97.
What's
White
going
is
on?
promoting the C pawn, but black is promoting the H pawn.
Queen is on the board. And
what's going on?
It's lost.
Our bar has stopped working because it shows equal position in a completely lost position for white.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that the bar is not even on the screen. I was talking to you guys about the bar because I opened it for the viewers, but I realized we are not showing it. So yeah, somehow the bar stopped working in the right moment. It's made on the board. That means that Mashenka 97 moves on to 3 out of 3. Wow. Mashenka being Maria Beskorovina from the Ukraine, and the Chess.com rating of 2572. Really impressive. Okay, I'm being told that my pronunciation is bad. It's Mashenka. Thank you, Christian 13.
Right. Stress. And the game is going on. I think Elizabeth Batts versus Yumi Bear.
I like the username.
Yumi Bear.
Yeah, that's so cute. Yumi Bear.
Gummy Bear.
Indeed. Yumi Bear from Indonesia with the black pieces against Elizabeth Batts, one of the top female players in the world. And Ellie has a rook, a knight, and multiple pawns for the queen.
But queen is queen. But the king, though, is pretty safe on a1, so we cannot give many checks. I've always heard that knight is best defender for the king against checks. And this is the right example. King on a1, knight on b1, you cannot touch me.
Yes.
Fortress. It's a fortress.
I love it. At the same time, white will have to find a way to progress, but she doesn't want to try. She's going for the repetition, and Yumi Bear forces b4. She's trying to win still because she wants to go queen c1, a3 to threaten mate, and her king is about to infiltrate the position too. Wow, this is still exciting.
That was risky, but yeah, I think that king c4 and king maybe queen c2, king b3 was the idea, but of course.
And Ali lost on time. Elizabeth Batts loses on time. This is another upset. Yumi Bear winning with the black pieces. She's a woman FIDE master, but if you look at the chess.com rating, she's of course very strong. And this is blitz chess, so that's completely different from the classical rating system.
It is. And wow, we have to praise her efforts because b4 was very nice move. b4 with the idea of king b5, king c4, and sometimes queen c1, a3. It's very difficult to take care of all the threats.
Indeed, that was a beautiful game. Unfortunately, I can't bring it back because the new round has started, but I want to have a look at one of the leaders. We have talked about Mashenka, but another player on 3 out of 3 is Vice 64. So let's check how she's doing against Indian Star. Indian Star with the white pieces against Vice 64.
Right.
Vice 64 is Irina Bulmaga from Romania, part of the Olympic team of Romania. Very strong player. You see her rating 2560 on chess.com.
And she's very strong in blitz as well.
Do you have personal experience facing Irina?
We've played, we are playing in same team in German league, in Bundesliga, and I know her pretty well. I've played against her a lot of times, and we have, I think, equal result. I'm not sure, but I don't think I'm in minus. But she's very strong in blitz, and she loves to play blitz. Whenever we're at the league, she's like, "Yeah, let's play."
I think we can all see how she loves blitz. She almost hasn't used any seconds. It's 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock for Irina with the black pieces after moving about 12, 15 moves. I don't even know what move we are on. 15 moves. Oh, that was just my guess, but it's move 15 actually. How do you like this position for black?
I don't know. I think I would like it for white. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm also always in favor of the more space, but I see that now Irina is trying to create counterplay on the king side by trading the fianchetto bishop. Still, this open c file can be problematic sometimes too. So I agree with you that I think white is somewhat more comfortable, but it's not that simple. And I would be scared if suddenly a queen appears on h3 and f5, f4 happens at some point.
Though I think that knight is pretty misplaced for the attack, we would like to have knight on f6, so that after bishop h3 and queen h3, then we have a quick jump, knight f6, knight g4. But the advantage of having knight on e7 is that we have a free pass for the f-pawn. So black can play f5, f4 right away.
You are right, and I'm drawing all sorts of arrows, but the point is f5, f4, as Sopiko mentioned. My arrows are so lengthy, it goes all the way to f3, but here's the point. Attack on the king side, that's what black wants. She keeps the bishop a7. She doesn't want to allow this trade because this piece, the a7 bishop, is also needed for the attack. That's why she wants to keep as many pieces as possible.
My only worry for black would be that after bishop a7, which was pretty weird move, I think b5, b6 might be pretty strong. But she played bishop e3. I don't really like that. I think that b5, b6 would be very nice to close this bishop completely, and then d6 pawn would be very weak.
Yes, what Sopiko is saying, I'm going to get rid of the arrows. What she's saying is b5 instead of bishop to e3. So not trading with bishop e3, but going for b5, b6. I love your idea, this b6 push, because that would weaken the d6 pawn, and that's the base of the pawn chain here in the center. If the d6 pawn falls, white would have a d5 pass pawn. It did not happen in the game, but bishop e3 instead, trading on e3, bishop takes, knight takes, and f5, f4, stopping black from pushing f4. White goes f4.
White goes f4, but I think that black's attack is still going on, and after h5, h4, maybe it would be better for black to kind of escape with the king f7 and rook h8, but I don't think that she has so much time.
She may not have time in terms of how many tempi it takes to carry out that plan, but she has time on the clock, so she's doing very well in terms of time management. It's still almost 2 full minutes left for Irina and only 34 seconds for Indian Star. How do you see that in a blitz game when you go down the clock that much?
Yeah, it is pretty tough for white because the position also is not easy. What I would think would be to sacrifice the exchange, maybe with rook f4 to get rid of the attack, knight f4, and try to think, how could I trap the queen? But now the current position, it looks really good for black because of the e-file and attack on the king side.
I see also Danny Ranch is here with us in the chat. Shout out to the one and only Mr. Ranch. He's saying, makes me realize I don't know enough of these usernames. I'm clicking them all in live chess to learn who these players are. And you can do the same if you go to chess.com live chess and the tournament tab, Women's Speed Chess Championship Qualifier. Do find out more about these players. Indian Star, for instance, is Women International Master Priyanka Chopra from India, as you can tell by the flag and the username.
Right.
She has only 16 seconds left, so I think we should stay here because there can be a critical moment very shortly with this few time on the clock. Queen f7 was the last move. Irina is still doing very well in keeping her pace fast, but the position...
I think it might be tricky now because maybe I want to play king h3, knight h4 to have perpetual. Though queen e4 I like very much. It completely, I cannot play king. Okay, she played king h3.
And drawing arrows for the centralized queen, how powerful the queen can be in the middle of the board, attacking and defending at the same time. King h3 is an interesting move, but I feel like this is when you can make a huge mistake. If that knight was not on g2, queen h1 would be mate.
Right. Yeah. King h3, queen e4, it's very nice generally to have queen on this diagonal because then we are not able to go knight h4 anymore. And then black has just passed.
You're right. At the same time, I started laughing at myself because Rakesh Chess is telling us in the Twitch chat that Priyanka Chopra is an Indian actress. The player is Women International Master Priyanka Nutaki. So I was given the wrong information, but I'm going to blame myself for the mistake. Always just take responsibility for your mistake. Nutaki is the surname. Apologies. I like Priyanka Chopra too. I thought that there might be more Priyanka Chopras. I'm aware that Priyanka Chopra, the actress, is not that good at chess, but I hope she loves chess.
She's watching our broadcast now and learns some moves.
Of course. Both players have a pass pawn. So the B pass pawn is about to promote and the C pass pawn, and there was a mate threat on H1. What's going on, Sopiko?
What was that? She could, oh my God, another queen is on board. But white had a chance to take on F5 and have path for her king to G4. Now we're having a game equal endgame, which I think will end in draw soon, because there is nothing to play for.
Suddenly a position that was extremely exciting with both players promoting a pawn. It ended up in an equal position where a handshake should be coming soon, unless someone flags. It's only 5 seconds left for both players, so time is still a factor.
Right. But nah, this
yeah, they are repeating moves, so the position should soon end in a draw. Let's have a look at some of the other leaders. We have talked about Marshenka quite a lot. Let's check in with Yumi Bear. How is her game in this round? I like the username a lot, Yumi Bear.
I like it too.
Although I think she has finished her game while I was talking.
She probably finished her game. And
yeah, she's on 3.5 out of 4. She has finished her game.
We have
only one game I see left. Divya Dashmukh with the white pieces against Zafirka.
Right. And what's going on? We have piece down for white. Bishop h3. What? It was a bit. Well, it's okay to have the to have the passers on the king side, but bishop was still a bishop, wasn't it? Oh my God! Oh my God!
I need to slow down here because I thought black is winning this rook endgame. She's a pawn up. And then she blundered her rook just when I was reading the chat, and I didn't even realize the moment that here, after rook to c8, white is threatening to give a check and pick up the rook. The new games have started, so I can't even show it. Let's jump in with round 5. This is a fast-paced event, as you can see.
Oh my God, such things happen in Blitz. So many times it happened to me, and afterwards you're like, damn it!
Yeah, black blundered a full rook with a pawn up rook endgame, and Alexandra's game is on the board. It has just started against Elsa Menova. I'm gonna check how she did in the previous round so I can update you guys. She's streaming her game, so if you want to focus on Alexandra's games, do check out her channel. She's streaming while she's playing. She has 2 out of 4, which is good. Starting with 2 defeats, she has won her last 2 games.
Right, it's not that bad, and lots of rounds still ahead. So how she's doing?
6 more rounds, and the time control is 3 minutes plus 1 second for those of you just joining. This is the Women's Speed Chess Championship qualifier. The first place is going to be part of the Women's Speed Chess Championship. This is the first time Chess.com is hosting a Speed Chess Championship for female players, with the top players in the world fighting for $20,000 in total. The first match will be on May the 22nd, and the opponent of Katerina Launo on May the 22nd will be the winner of the qualifier tournament today.
Yeah, and soon we're gonna see who's gonna play against Katerina. So far in Alexandra's game, we have a Carlsbad system with a pretty not so popular 7th move knight e4, where black traded the bishop on e7. But I think that was pretty smart from black's side, because that's usually what black wants in the Carlsbad system, to trade and have e4 square for the knight. What do you think, Anna? Would you like to play it with black side, the current position, or you still prefer white?
I like white's position still because of the semi-open b file, but I agree that black has managed to trade the key pieces. So now there's not so much pressure on black anymore, only with one minor piece, and that minor piece being the d7 knight. This knight may come to f6 and then e4. So this is a roughly equal position. Oh, and the other route for the knight, even better, pointed out by El Semenova, is knight b6, knight c4. This is an outpost on c4 for the knight.
It is.
Alex is aggressive. She's going for h4, h5.
Yeah, I like h4, h5 with the idea to get the h file open and maybe knight g5, rook h5 at some point, but black does not allow it, unfortunately. And I don't know, if you push h6, would it be that great? Probably not, because pawns don't go back.
Yeah, we unfortunately cannot move our pawns backward. If h6, I believe black would respond with g6 to keep the h file open. And also Alexandra's king can get into trouble because she hasn't castled. And you don't really want to castle kingside after having pushed the h pawn. But also castle queenside is dangerous because your b file is open. So what will she do with her king? What do you think?
I think king might be safe on f1 or in worst case g3. Ooh, long castle. That I'm afraid of.
That's great, but I'm also scared that this pawn storm is coming very quick. And even though her pawn is on h6, h7 is only a check. The king will hide on h8.
Right, and I think main worry for white should be c5, because after c5, the c file is open and the king is on c file. That's where we see in this game that black's attack, which was not supposed to be successful, will be successful.
Yeah, the queen has already made it to the a3 square with the knight on c4. All she needs to do is bring the rooks as well. If the b file opens up, then it's already trouble for Alexandra. We hope the best for her, but if you want to continue looking at her game, please check out her channel. We also need to move on to the other boards and some of the leaders of the field after 4 rounds. We have, let me count, 4. Is that 4 players on 3.5? I see 4 players with 3.5 points out of 4. Vice 64 is one of them. We have already talked about Irina Bulmaga. She's playing against Yumi Bear with the white pieces.
Ooh, what's going on?
And thank you so much, Benjamin, for gifting 3 subs to the Chess.com community. We so appreciate your support, and shout out to all the moderators and our viewers on Chess TV and Twitch. We are looking at both chats, so make sure to talk to us. Even if this is a fast-paced event, we try to keep up with you guys as well.
And you're great in that. I'm so new. I'm like, oh my God, where should I look at the board, at the chat? I hope I'll get
very good at it, Sopiko. You're very good. And you're going to have your own Twitch channel. It's coming. It's coming.
I know. Right. What is going on?
What do you think of this endgame with this b3 pass pawn? It's a funny situation where both players have a b pawn, but it's reversed. So black's pawn is on b3, and it's a passed pawn. Also, the b4 pawn is a passed pawn, but that's farther from the back rank.
I think white's b pawn is more dangerous because we have, first of all, the bishop, which is in this case better than the knight, and b5, b6 is pretty fast, and pawn on b3 is very weak. So black needs to keep an eye to defend the b3 pawn. Otherwise, if white takes the b3 pawn, then it would be just pawn up and winning endgame.
White has played bishop to e5. How do you see this move? Trying to chase the rook away from the third rank, but the e3 pawn is being offered for that price.
I think she calculated because after bishop f6, b5, and the rook is not in time to catch the pawn, because if rook e5, then rook b3, and we have a favorable endgame where the passer is stronger and we have rook behind.
Indeed, the famous Tarrasch rook is being on display. So the rook is supporting the pawn from behind. Rook takes b3. Now it's once again equal material, and white has a strong pass pawn, I was going to say, but this king can get there, although white is infiltrating the position on the king side in the meantime. So there's no time for king d7, king c7, because white's going to capture the king side pawns.
Yeah, but I'm afraid that white cannot take the h6 pawn e5. I did not like. I would keep the king to f6.
Mm-hmm.
Now rook b6 might be a little problem. for black, I would keep king f6, king g7, and the pawn chain.
I agree with you that this was too risky since it has opened up the sixth rank and now black's king is less active. White is going to try to come from the other side. The problem is that once you have, she's coming back. She realized that it's not going to be so easy to cross. So she's coming once again from the king side. And black has changed her strategy. She's not going back.
But it was very smart what she did, I think, white, because f6 is on the board and there is no danger of king f6, king h6, rook h8 mate. Mm-hmm. So, but she went back. She's dancing with the king very nicely.
Yeah, both kings are dancing. As Sopiko said earlier, white couldn't take on h6 because with the king on f7, rook h8 was going to be mate. So she's trying to come from the other side, as we mentioned earlier, that this could be a potential plan. The b pawn is off of the board, so she traded it for the f pawn, but now black is active.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty easy draw.
The only weakness in black's camp now is the h5 pawn, and she had to protect it with the rook, so that's somewhat problematic, but white cannot get in the position with the king thanks to this h5 pawn. She's going for g4 to create a pawn.
g3 was also possible.
Yeah, I'm curious what would have happened if she has created, not that arrow, but connected passpawns, although that would have allowed black to have connected passpawns as well. This is a really exciting rook endgame with both players trying to win it.
But I think there is, if one of them doesn't lose on time, it should be a draw.
Yes, it fizzled out to a drawn position.
This is not draw anymore because h7 and rook h6. What happened? Oh my gosh.
She missed it. She thought that she had time to come back with the rook, but now rook h6 and the pawn promotes. What a blunder from Irina's side. White 64 going down in this rook endgame. That was a draw, and now white has promoted. I think if I can get back to that moment, I just want to show real quick what Sopiko was saying. Black didn't have time to go for this rook maneuver because she missed that after h7, the rook is coming to h6, and she doesn't have time to stop it with her rook. Whoa, what a mistake.
Blunder.
But it happens in blitz games, of course, blunders like this. And that means that Yumi Bear is going to have 5.5 points out of 6, if I can keep track. No, 4.5 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5. I added one more point. It's the 5th round. Half of the event is still ahead of us.
And Indian Star also is 4.5 out of 5. So we have now 2 leaders with 4.5 out of 5. And the event, actually, half of the event is over. 5 more rounds, and these 5 rounds are pretty decisive.
Indeed, I think we should focus on the game between the 2 leaders. That's Yumi Bear with the black pieces against Indian Star. We have learned that Indian Star is not Priyanka Chopra, but Priyanka Nutaki, woman international master from India. And this is a thematic position from the English opening, starting with c4, e5, and black pushes d5 and then retreats the knight to b6. How do you like these variations with white?
I think it became very, very popular, generally the English variation after the match of Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana, as Magnus is playing all the time c4 in his white games nowadays. And people start to explore more and more in English. Well, it is, as I see it, it is reversed Sicilian. So
it is a reverse Sicilian.
I would like it for white because I'm a Sicilian player. I think that white is still fighting for an advantage. And the pawns on a2 and b2 are usually advancing with a3, b4, and trying to get some space on the queen side. And what black is doing is just he wants to have control in the center. And he doesn't want to push any kind of f5, g5, and so on. No counterattack on the king side, just to take control of what's going on the queen side and center.
Indeed, and a typical maneuver for white is knight e4, knight c5 that you see already carried out by white. A trade on c5, meaning that white now has the pair of bishops, and still this semi-open c file can be unpleasant for black, especially if you bring your heavy pieces. White can bring all the heavy pieces to the c file to put pressure on this c7 pawn and not allow a knight jump to d4.
Yeah, though it's not super easy to create and open this C file because knight on C6 is pretty strong, but white has several ideas connected with A4, B5, or rook C1, knight E1, and then trying to get rid of the knight on C6.
Indeed, A4 now aiming to push B5. This is getting problematic for black. How do you can't stop b5. I'm just trying to see how can you deal with the c7 weakness on the long run. She may want to protect it with rook f7, but that's really passive. A5 now chasing away the b6 knight.
A5 is a bit weird because we were saying that we want to go b5. And yeah, after bishop f3, she might have missed bishop f3 because maybe she wanted that knight goes to a8 and then it's pretty bad. Knight, but after bishop f3, knight comes anyway. Oh, EF. Bishop f3, knight d4 was there.
Yeah, knight d4, and black has indeed played already knight d4. Now this is a beautifully placed centralized knight on d4, an outpost for the knight. So suddenly, from two clumsy knights that were on c6 and b6, black has managed to create this outpost on d4 and place her other knight on d5. I don't think this is a good change in the position for white.
Yeah.
Although there's still play, of course, but it's not the progress she was about to make.
Yeah, I think the same thing acts in this game because she was very quick with A4 and A5 and B5. Once again, we see very often, and I know I repeat myself, but you have to finish development. You have to bring all your pieces into the game and then start the action. Because if she had played rook FC1, then the knight on C6 would be pinned because of C7 pawn. And then it would be very tough for black to create some counterplay.
Indeed, so we should all listen to Grandmaster Anish Giri. Sopiko refers to the advice by her husband, Anish, saying that you should develop your pieces first and then go for something concrete. It may sound like an advice that we can get when we just start playing chess, but I think this is so important to remember. It's simple but true.
Yeah. Easier said than done, but we still have to remember it. You know, I'm reminding that to myself all the time, but when I see some kind of active moves at attack going on, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. And then I have to listen to my husband's critics. I told you so many times, remember, and so on.
Listen to the top players. Even if it sounds like simple, it's not that simple to put it into practice. Develop your pieces first. The current position between Indian Star and Yumi Bear is the following. After Queen f6 and h4, it's a bishop versus a knight, with both players having heavy pieces to some pressure from white's side, but the rook on e4 is rather funny.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of stuck, but good thing is that we can always come back with rook c4. But it is stuck on e4, but it does a good job because e5 pawn is very important. So queen h5 at some point, bishop h3. Well, we should blunder mate, but there are some ideas for white.
Black played g6 to guard the h5 square, but that tears up the long diagonal, and also it may run into a potential h5 push. She now goes for knight g7 to have a better control on the light squares. Still, there's pressure after queen d7.
She wants knight f5, knight g3, or knight h5.
That's looking weird. You don't normally want to have your knight on the rim. Knight on the rim is dim. We all know that. She is going for something concrete. You are right to attack the g3 pawn, but I like your idea more, having the knight on f5.
I'm a bit puzzled because first she went queen c7 and then queen b7 after rook e8. So queen f2. The white thinks that queen f2, knight h5 is not very dangerous, but doesn't look so, right?
Yeah, white has collected the b7 pawn, and also the c6 and a6 pawns are about to drop, unless there's something concrete.
There's a blunder because e8 rook is hanging and knight e3 is not valid. Now we can take rook e5.
Yeah, all the pawns are falling thanks to this double attack. Black has no time to capture the pawn, as Sopiko pointed out. Rook takes e5. White is 3 pawns up and everything is protected. This is bad news for Yumi Bear.
It is. It doesn't look so good. And also now a5 pawn is very strong because we are in endgame, and once a6 is lost, it's going to be queen. It's going to be promoted.
Indeed. Shout out to Alexandra. I see her now in the chat. Alex, we are following your games from time to time, and I'm also sending over everyone to cheer for you on your channel. Good luck. You can do it. You can qualify. There are still plenty of rounds left. So go for it, girl. We are rooting for you here.
Good luck. Good luck. Come on. You can do it. We know that.
Everyone cheer for Alexandra. We won that 8th qualification spot to go for our streamer Alexandra Botas, and make sure to check out her channel if you want to focus on her games. Here we are covering all the other boards as well. We try to see as much as we can to show you the top boards. Yumi Bear going down against Indian Star, meaning that Indian Star is now on 5.5 out of 6.
So little.
It's amazing.
Yeah, she's so little. And who do we have left?
I think this has been it. All of the round 6 games have finished and round 7 has just started. Since we have just looked at Yumi Bear and Indian Star, let's also check in with some of the other players that are half a point behind Indian Star. One of them is Elina Danielian, Classy L, with the black pieces against Nurgul Salimova.
Right. Catalan. Or Indian. Without c4, I'm not sure which one it is.
It can still transpose, you're right. It's a very flexible system going fianchetto on both flanks, and now c4. So it is a Catalan structure. c4 is on the board and the g3, that is Catalan.
I like this for white. I played it myself, and the idea after d5, I think, we have current position, is that we should not take it on d5, but leave it like d takes c4, b takes c4, and then white has very, very nice play on the queen side and open files for the rook.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, and already in this position, it's not that easy to develop as black. You could see that with the knight on d4, knight d7, the natural developing move would have failed because of this jump to c6. That was really annoying, knight to c6, attacking both the queen and the bishop. So you have to go queen e8 in that position. Therefore, black played bishop to c5, and it is white thinking about how to proceed.
Bishop c5 is
so much time.
I think e3 should be played because we don't want to take back the pawn with the knight. Oh, rook c1, but then after d takes c4, does she take with rook or knight? I wanted to take with the pawn.
Yes, but Sopiko is saying that after d takes c4, now she cannot take back with the pawn. She has to take either with the knight or with the rook in order to protect the knight on d4. That's why she liked the idea of e3, defending the knight so that you have more flexibility after d takes c4. The current position is rook c1 and rook e8. Black did not take on c4. She's saying that she would rather play another useful move and waiting for white to do something.
Oh, the last move, knight 4 f3, was very weird because then knight c6 came without any problem.
I agree with you that retreating with that knight in this moment when the c6 square is so important wasn't a good idea. She was aiming to regroup her pieces with knight to e5 and opening up the long diagonal for the bishop, but it was not precise because it allows the natural developing move knight to c6, and now black has no problems. She even started to grab the initiative with knight b4 and aiming for knight to d3.
Right. Can we sacrifice the a2 pawn playing queen e2, or it would be too much probably, because knight a2 comes with tempo, rook a1, knight b4 back, and I don't see the compensation for that sacrificed pawn.
I agree with you, but that means
Yes,
trouble. So both the pawn is
listen
hanging.
to me.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, not you. I'm just saying white pieces should not listen to me, because she did the same what I did.
I am trying to listen, but sometimes it's not that simple with the internet. But queen e2 was played, so white is allowing the capture of the pawn. This is a pawn up for black now. It takes some time to get back with the knight, but I don't see anything concrete unless there's something on the d5, knight e5, rook c8. Black is doing very well in this game. Alina Danielian, member of the Olympic team of Armenia, with the black pieces.
Right. Yeah. White player was listening to me and she played queen e2, which I really think that was not necessary. But she did create some kind of attack going on with the knight e5 and knight g4. But the bishop on f8 is so good protecting everything that I think black is just enjoying an extra pawn.
Yeah, we all love free stars. At least I love free stars. Sopiko, how do you feel about having this healthy extra pawn on d5 or the queen side if you count the a pawn?
Oh, I love even a bit sick pawns. I'm a
whatever pawn up we can have, we're gonna take it. I'm on the same page with you. And here it's protected pawn. That's an extra pawn for black. So I'm confident that Alina is going to convert this into a full point, even though it's a blitz game, so anything could still happen. But let's check in with the other player on 5 out of 6. And that is Mialu 91 against Indian star Mialu 91 with the black pieces from Vietnam. You can check all the usernames and find out more about the players if you go to Live Chess and click on the tournament tab. Make sure to do that. There are so many talented female players in today's field. You definitely want to learn more about them. Click on that Live Chess tab. That's how you can look up who is who and figure out which one is your favorite player. Who are you rooting for? You let us know in the chat. Please let us know in the chat who are you rooting for, because I haven't asked this question yet.
Oh, that's true. We have so many famous players taking part into this qualifier, European champions and so on, that we should know who you guys are rooting for.
Indeed. I'm expecting a lot of you saying Alexandra, and I'm hoping that you're going to say Alexandra. But apart from Alexandra, who are the players you are rooting for? Don't root for Sopiko and me. That's the only thing that we are not playing.
We are not, but we are guessing the moves.
Yeah, and we are doing sometimes okay, sometimes not so okay, guessing the moves depending on the position. And also, we did not really guess the blunders, luckily for us. The queen blunder and all the other strange things that happen. But Indian star here with the white pieces putting pressure on the king side. What do you think of this position after rook f7, Sopiko? And d5, look at this pawn break in the center.
I like it even without d5, because the bishop on d7 is so bad, and all the pawns, black pawns, are on white pieces. And I think you are the master of endgames, and you are the one who will explain everything about the pawns, bad bishop, and so on. So I will just let it to you.
I wonder if black will get there, though. I would love to cover the endgame, but I'm also worried about black's king with this pawn on f6 and the trade on e6. Yeah, they have managed to get into this heavy piece endgame, queen and rook versus queen and rook. I thought black was doing worse earlier because it was such a dangerous situation.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't like what happened, because definitely the white bishop was way better than the black one. And now it is important to keep the f6 pawn, but you need to be around it so you cannot create any kind of attack.
Yes, so black is simply making waiting moves, rook f8, rook to f7. Now she goes queen d5, probably she'll want to come back. Oh, okay, she starts giving checks too. That was one check on the back rank. What's the follow-up? What's the follow-up? How can white make progress here? She's pushing the h-pawn, but she can't go h5. Now she's threatening queen g7, mate, rook f7. It's not easy to crack black's position. White is better, but how do you proceed?
d5. Queen g5, h5. Even if the queen was on d5, the trade queen g5, h2 would be in white's favor.
Mm-hmm.
But now after king h8, it's not valid to go h5 because g file would be open. Oh, e4 pawn?
And 2 seconds left, only in 1 second in the end. Star has to speed up. It's only a 1 second increment, so she can't go down on the clock. 1 second.
Why she doesn't take the e4 pawn? Now it's not possible anymore, but now black is doing very good. Oh my god, mate!
Oh, she flagged! She flagged.
Yeah, it was mate. Oh.
Yeah, it was already over, but she was playing for a win, so it was very quick. But the storyline is the following. White was playing for a win for the whole time, but she pushed too hard, and in the end, she didn't realize that black has counterplay after g5, h5, g4, this pass pawn, and the situation of the white king, the combination of the two now leading to, well, she lost some time, but it's gonna be mate no matter what she does. She can play rook f2 to lose the rook and then lose the game, or she will be mated. Any other king move, it's mate next move with queen h2. Wow, Mialoi 91 turning the tables. Whew.
And now leading the tournament with 6 points out of 7 with Alina Danielian from Armenia. Classy L, also 6 points out of 7.
Indeed, Mialoi 91 being Hoang Thi Bao Tram, a member of the Vietnamese Olympic team. So we have one of the main players of the Armenian Olympic team, Alina Danielian, is a leader, and Hoang Thi Bao Tram from the Vietnamese Olympic team. The two of them are leading with 3 rounds to go. They are on 6 out of 7, and a few players behind them on 5.5. What do you guys think will happen? Will it be Alina? Will it be Hoang Thi who wins? Or another player? Let us know in the chat. We have a moment to breathe before round 8 begins.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult because not only 5.5 is dangerous for the players who have 6 points, but also the ones who have 5 points because it's 3 games to go and yeah, a lot of things might happen. I see that Georgian player Maka Purtsaladze is also taking part, and I'm happy to see Georgians taking in part there. She has 5 points out of 7. And I think she will play the leader pretty soon.
If she has 5 points out of 7 and you mentioned her, let's check her game because we haven't covered Maka's game. She's also near the top of the standings. And then we will have a look at the leader's game, of course. Maka playing, let me find her game.
Mashenka. I don't have the correct pronunciation of Mashenka, right?
No, you're very good. Marshenka. I was told that it's the first syllable that has the accent on its own. Maka Purtsaladze from Georgia, facing Marshenka 97. And once again, here we are with a modern defense similar to the Pierce defense. This G6, D6 setup is very popular, especially in Blitz, as you could see from today's event.
It is, and there are different kind of setups with C6, B5, or A6, B5. I personally find A6, B5 more challenging because then the bishop is open, but C6, B5 is also very interesting. What I find it a bit weird is the inclusion of H4, H6. Do you think that it's very common?
I have seen it in other games. It's always a question whether you want to include this or not. But usually, if you want to castle queenside as white, I think it's a good idea to go h4, h6 because it makes more difficult for black to castle kingside. After knight f6 castle kingside, the h6 pawn is in the air. I think that's what Maka is doing. She wants to castle queenside and not allow black to go castle kingside. But I agree with you that it has its drawbacks too because she will not castle kingside herself as white.
Yeah, and she's, I think, forced to do something with her king because if you castle...
Sopiko? I hope I haven't lost Sopiko. Guys, let me know if you can still hear her because I don't. Oh, you're back. I lost you for a second. I lost you for a second, but I think you're back, so we are good.
Oh,
yeah, let's catch up with the position. That must have been an internet connection issue, but we are back with Sopiko, and the position after c5, d takes c5, d takes c5 is opening up for white, which is good news. Once you have castled, you want to open up the position so that you can attack the opponent. How do you see Maka's chances here with white?
I think it's very double-edged position, and as long as black doesn't castle short, there is no real attack going on the king side, and maybe black can take time to find some tricks on the queen side. I would myself objectively prefer to be with white pieces, but in blitz game, because blitz is very specific time control, and especially internet blitz game. Oh my god, this is oh my god.
Bishop e5. The queen is hanging on d6, and she goes knight takes e6. Wow, both queens are hanging. What is going on?
Yeah, that was pretty cool and very brave sacrifice, because first you have to calculate, my queen is hanging, what if she takes on d6, and then what is going on if she takes the piece just.
Yeah, she would have taken also the bishop on d6 afterwards. That must be the reasoning, but she also allows f takes e6, queen takes e6, a piece sacrifice on e6. This is the position, queen takes e6, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, and queen c7. White is a piece down, but black's king is still in the middle of the board.
And I think she has very good compensation because of the king once again, and because of two bishops, because these knights are pinned and they are not doing much, and especially this type of initiative in the blitz game will be very dangerous for black.
I agree with you. Chess Gremlin, thank you so much for the 110 bits saying yay chess. Yes, yay for chess. Today is definitely a chess celebration. It's the beginning of the Women's Speed Championship, a new event by Chess.com. There will be also a Junior Speed Chess Championship, and of course the Classical Speed Chess Championship. You guys have seen all these years how popular the Speed Chess Championship have become. The matches when you see the players on camera. That's what we're gonna cover together with Sopiko. The first match is on May the 22nd, and we are looking for the opponent of Katarina Lagno. She will play the first match, and the winner of the qualifier tournament will be Katarina's opponent on May the 22nd.
Right, and I think that we will have better cameras with women, because when I was following the classical speed championship, the cameras was a bit weird. We could see half of the faces, because usually, they don't care, but we women do.
Yeah, we also have an emote for Fabiano Caruana's forehead, now that you mentioned Sopiko, that some of the top grandmasters don't have as a preference that they actually fit in the frame while they are playing speeches. They mainly focus on the board. But I agree with you that I think our participants will also care about making sure that the camera is on their face and not just on the hairline on the top of their head.
Yeah, and we are spoiled to see that, because it's nice to see the emotions. I think it's super, super cool to have the camera, and when you blunder, you're like, oh, that shouldn't be the case.
I agree with you. Having the possibility to look at the players' faces and the players not hiding their emotions, because at normal chess tournaments, at over-the-board chess tournaments, you would see the players having their poker faces on mainly. When they are playing from home, there's nothing to hide because the opponent can't really see them. It will be us observing them, you, the viewers, and we, Sopiko, and I, as commentators. So that's coming up from May the 22nd. And today's winner will be one of the 8 participants of the field for the Women's Speed Chess Championship with $20,000 at stake. $20,000.
Yeah, that's a good money.
How about this position with a piece up for black? Marchenko, 97. Will she convert this?
I think that Maka did not, she was not successful with the attack, and she lost the game. And Marchenko is now 6 out of 8, right?
Yes, let's have a look at our leaderboard. Also, we should check the game of Elina and Meo. There are 2 leaders. They are still playing. So I'm going to go and see our 2 top players, if I can click on their game in a second.
Oh, and she just won. Elina Danielian, she won.
You have found her game faster than I did. That's why I didn't. The game is not going on anymore. It's Elina taking the sole lead by beating Melo in 91. Hoang Thi Bao Tam with the black pieces, that is, from Vietnam. Losing to Elina Danielian. Elina is now 7 out of 8. That's a massive score with 2 rounds to go, with good chances for Elina to win and qualify for the Women's Speed Chess Championship.
Very, very good chances for her, but Yummy Bear is still there with 6.5 points. So we have 2 games, I think, going on.
Yes, let's check the remaining 2 games of round 8. One is by Zefirka versus Kaisa Chess. This is a rook end game. I love rook end games. Let's go.
That's already winning one. Oh,
what was King B8? Allowing rook takes B6. You're kidding. You're kidding. That's the only move that doesn't win. King B8.
Yeah, King A7, B7, B8. B8. We all know.
Any move was winning, but not that one. Jeez.
Oh my God.
That must have been a mouse slip, or she did not realize that the rook was on the same rank as the pawn. It happens in blitz games. We're going to look at the tournament leader, that is Danielian, Grandmaster Danielian, Elina Danielian from Armenia. She has 7 out of 8, and right behind her is Yumi Bear on 6.5 out of 8. They are the top 2 players, but they already I was going to say they already played against each other. They are playing against each other right now. Yeah. I need a moment to breathe.
Right. It's difficult to know, because we know the names and we know that they are all playing each other, but still not. And it's great that we have 2 of them playing against each other now in this round.
Indeed. So with 2 rounds to go, we have the leader of the tournament with the white pieces, Classy L, facing Yumi Bear. And remember, this is for the qualification spot for the first ever Women's Speed Chess Championship starting on May the 22nd. Sopiko and myself will be covering the event. And as Sopiko said, we will have matches where both players will be on camera, so you can see the reaction of the players, which is so exciting in chess when you actually get the chance to see what they are going through and not just the moves on the chessboard. So let's see if it's going to be Classy L, Yumi Bear, or a third player who qualifies for that 8th spot.
I think it's going very good for Elina, because it's only 15 moves, and I think she's winning the piece right now. And she has very, very good position. After Rook AD1, only Bishop D7 comes to mind, but after Bishop D7, some Rook D7 would work.
Look at the king side. Without the fianchetto bishop, this queen on f6 is extremely powerful, and Elina is really good at attacking chess, so she is a pawn down. She gave up the pawn for the piece. I was like, it's not a pawn, it's a full piece and the attack, so everything is on white side. Extra material, mating attack, the game is over, and if Elina wins this game, it's going to be 8 out of 9 with 1 round to go. Elina Danielian about to win the qualifier. The only player that's behind her with half a point is Yumi Bear, her current opponent, which will mean that she will have a full point lead at least after this round.
Yeah, it looks very bright for Elina, because this game is, I think it's over, because everything is just on her side. Attack, material, and she's not the player to let it go. She just wants to, after Queen H6, Rook H4, even Rook H4 she could play, right? If instead of taking an F3.
Probably she didn't want to go Rook H4 immediately in case there was Bishop H5, so Rook H4, Bishop H5, but she's patient, she takes back on F3, and next move is Rook to H4. It's a piece up and mating attack. Elina Danielian is going to win this game, and I see a request in the chat to Daniel Ranch that he should sing the Gummy Bear song. When is the video coming up? I agree with you, Benjamin. I think for Yumi Bear, in honor of Yumi Bear, we need that Gummy Bear song by the one and only Danny Ranch.
Oh my God, that's a very tough song, because once I heard it, and first time I heard it, I listened to it like I don't know, 5 times, and then it got in my head. I couldn't get rid of it.
It's very catchy. Do not listen to the Gummy Bear song unless you want to sing it the whole day. So let's move on to another board because we believe Elina is on her way to win this game, which will lead to 8 points out of 9 with 1 round to go. The only players that can catch her are those on 6 points. One of them is being Mashenka 97. So we're going to have a look at Mashenka's game with the white pieces against Jazzy 71. I'm loving this position with the attack against the black king, queen c6, attacking rook, threatening also knight b7. Whoa.
It just made after knight b7. It looks so bad. What can black do? Just sacrifice the queen for the bishop? Knight b7, she cannot do anything. Oh,
Mashenka. This is game over. Mashenka 97 on her way to win this crucial game. It's only move 25 and the position is winning. Rook a7 in an attempt to sacrifice the rook on b7 once knight b7 is on the board. But I believe there are several winning moves in this position. Let's see what Mashenka goes for.
I think knight b7, rook b7, and queen d7 is still mate. But she preferred to take the rook, which is also very good.
It's a full rook up after bishop to d4, a beautiful tactical motif, saving the knight while this bishop on g7 is hanging. So black has to trade on d4 or move her bishop away or defend that bishop. In either case, this is a full rook up for Mashenka. So we're going to move on to another game. Both Elina Danielina is winning her game. Mashenka 97 has just won. Mashenka being Maria Beskorovina from the Ukraine. And we still have a couple of players on 6 out of 8. Miaon is one of them from Vietnam, Hoang Chi Bao Tam. I'm going to bring up her game against Nurgul Salimova. Oh, this is exciting. Bishop takes b6, collecting pawns on the queen side, but black has some counter chances because of the central pawns. 10 seconds left for Nurgul. So material down and also time trouble for black.
Very, very bad. But f4 pawn, why did she give this? That's very... Oh my god. After queen f4, I think that black is doing okay because she just gave up 2 pawns. And after knight d4, knight d4, knight f3, I think it looks good for black.
The tables have turned completely. Sopiko, you are right. Why did white allow the capture of the f4 pawn, which led to a disaster? The current position is a disaster because suddenly it is black who is attacking its equal material. Black could have taken on b2 with a check, but instead she goes for rook f8 to activate the rook as well. I like how she's playing, but there's 1 second left.
Oh my god. But this is not anymore. We will enter the queen's endgame. Once again, white will be playing for a win. Oh. King h4, king g5, king h6. I want to mate if I'm not mating.
She flagged. Oh my god. Salimova flags in a queen endgame that she was not supposed to lose.
Right. Yeah.
Chess is tough.
I think she even had better chances when she took the f4 and e5 pawn. But it's a blitz, so we cannot judge.
I know. I would have flagged 10 moves ago. Everybody knows how slow I am, so I'm not judging the players. But Nurgul Salimova played excellently the last stage of the game that we have witnessed, where she turned the tables from a very difficult position, and then in the end she ran out of time. The time control is 3 minutes plus 1 second, and she in the end didn't manage to play quickly enough. Let's check in with some of the last games. Alexandra Botas is still playing, so we're going to look at Alexandra's game. She has a piece up. It's looking great, but she has only 7 seconds. Alex is a very fast player, so I'm not worried about her time. You can check out her stream. She's streaming while she's competing. She's going to convert this.
She's going to convert this, but I think in Blitz, it's when there are queens on the board, it's not so easy. Though, okay, after queen trade, it's very, very easy for her.
Yes, I see our viewers being worried about Alexandra's queen the Botas Gambit, Sopiko, you need to learn for Twitch terminology is when you blunder your queen. And Alex sometimes goes for the Botas Gambit in her games, but now that there are no queens on the board, no danger. I mean, there's one more queen. She has just promoted and she's winning the game. Congratulations to Alex. And I'm going to check how she's doing in the overall standings with this victory while we wait for the last round, which has just started. No time to check anything because this is the last round, the last crucial round. We're going to focus on the leader, Elina Danielian, with the black pieces against Marchenka 97.
And it's important game because if Marchenka wins this game, then she will catch Elina and they will both have 8 out of 10.
That's the only chance. So any result but a victory for Marchenka 97 would lead to Elina winning. She can make a draw and she will be the tournament winner. But with the black pieces, playing for a draw is not that simple. So even though a draw is a good result for Elina and will mean the qualification spot, it is a blitz game where white is playing for a win because she has to win in order to qualify herself. Alexandra is on 4 out of 9. So if she wins the last round, she'll have 50% in a very strong field. And she's also streaming at the same time. It's not so simple to compete in a very strong field and at the same time talk about your games while streaming on your own channel. So shout out to Alexandra and make sure to check out her channel while she's talking about the last round of the qualifier.
What do you think about the game? I think that black is doing very fine. I think Elina knows what she is doing. And with this queen on a6, c5, and knight c6 coming, I don't see any problems for black.
Yes, Elina is really good in the Caracan defense. It's one of her main weapons as black. She's very familiar with these variations. She pushed c5 in the right moment, and now knight coming from e7 to c6 to allow the development of the bishop and the king side. I think she is in charge. She knows what she's doing, and she is equalizing, if not more than equalizing. I'm thinking I like this position now for black more than for white.
I agree with you. And I don't think that she has, or it's not seen in her game that she has pressure of being a leader. And, you know, when you're a leader and there is just half points you need to win the tournament, you might have some psychological problems. You might play for a draw and you might want the game to be over as soon as possible. But the way she's playing this game, I think she's going to win.
I agree with you that it doesn't look like she feels any pressure. And there's quite some pressure if we think about that. The qualification spot means your entry ticket to a tournament where there's $20,000 at stake. That's the 8-player field of the Women's Speed Chess Championship. This is the first year that Chess.com is hosting a Women's Speed Championship. There also will be a Junior Speed Chess Championship, and the winners of the 2 Speed Chess Championships will qualify for the Classical Speed Chess Championship. That is the overall speed chess that Magnus Carlsen won in previous years and Hikaru Nakamura. Knight
d5 is going on, ED and knight f5. But I'm not sure that this is enough for the piece, as I can go just king f8 and rook e8. It's just a piece, right?
Yes, Elina says the same. I'm not scared of you. I'm protecting the g7 pawn with the king, and the rook will come over to e8. Whoa, that is another game where Elina has the upper hand. She may finish the tournament with 9 out of 10, which is a stellar performance, crushing the field, a very strong field.
Totally crushing the event, totally. 9 out of 10 would be so impressive in a very, very strong field.
I agree with you. This is insane. Let's see how is the rest of the field doing, because we also have prizes for the second place. Not the same as qualifying, but there's cash prize on the line. So the second spot also matters. And so far, there are 2 players on 7 out of 9. That's Miao and Marchenka. So I'm going to check Miao's game. I keep calling her Miao. It's very difficult for me to pronounce. Miao Loi 91, Hoang Chi Bao Tam from Vietnam. She's playing Yumi Bear.
But I love the way you pronounce it.
I'm just saying meow as if it was a cat. So I hope that she doesn't mind that my pronunciation is as bad as my mouse skills in Bliss Chess. There was a capture on a3, and we shall see if they will trade rooks. No, she says rook b3. I want to keep my rooks.
Right.
And now focusing on the backward c6 pawn. So Yumi bear with the white pieces against Mialoi 91. If Mialo wins, she's going to be second. But it also depends on Marchenko 97. So let's just quickly have a look at Marchenko's position because it's all about that second place now. If Elina wins, she's first. Marchenko or Mialoi 91 will be second.
Marchenko, I think she still pins down, and I think Elina will try her best to convert it because usually, knight f4.
Yes, some complications indeed. So the knight was untouchable because of the rook hanging on d7, queen takes f4, queen takes d7. That was the idea of Elina. Therefore, white played f3 to not get mated on g2. And now knight to e6, attacking the queen. So black is still a piece up, but she is struggling a little bit because of the king situation. She will still need to activate her rooks and make sure that her king will not get into any trouble with this knight on f5.
Right. I agree with you completely, but I do think that it takes time, but position is so good that Elina should be able to convert the piece.
Yes, I think she will convert it. I see there's a very important discussion in the chat right now whether chocolate should be banned at tournaments. You guys know my opinion on that, so I think I don't even need to say anything. I'm just going to spam the chat with this emote. This is from me to all of you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. This is the first ever Women's Speed Chess Championship. It's Sopiko and me. We're going to be here covering every single match of the Women's Speed Chess Championship starting on May the 22nd. So make sure to come back from May the 22nd. Today, we are seeing the qualifier. This is the last round. Elina Danielian is about to get that qualification spot to face Katerina Lano on May the 22nd. Oh, she has given back the piece while I was talking about what's going to happen in the future.
But she has a3 pawn, which is so strong that it's going to be queen very soon, I think. And there is no danger now anymore. I liked the way she played h5, h4, and developed the rook on h-file and then gave it.
Yes, it was a smart idea. You are right, giving back the piece for having so many pawns up. And she agrees to a draw. She offered a... Well, they repeated. There was no need to offer repetition of moves. But I think this is when you know that a draw is good enough for you to qualify for a 20K prize fund. Women's Speed Chess Championship. Congratulations to Classiel, aka Grandmaster Elina Danielian from Armenia, making her way to the 8-player field of the Women's Speed Chess Championship inaugural season. Starting on May the 22nd, she's going to be facing the top seed, Katerina Lano. But the round is still not over, so even though Elina gets the ticket, let's see who will finish second for the cash prize.
That was indeed very classy performance from Elina, and congratulations to her for this impressive 8.5, though she could get, I think, 9 out of 10. But 8.5, and she is the qualifier. She won the event, and that's most important. She will play against Ekaterina. And now let's look at Alina's game.
Yes, I just wanted to check what happened in Mieloi's game. She won with the black pieces. That means that we also have our second place already decided. First goes to Elina Danielian, second place to Mieloi 91, aka Hoang Chi Bao Tam from Vietnam. They win the top 2 cash prizes in today's event, and we're going to have a look at the last games. Alina Kashlinskaya, being one of the top female players in the world, she won the women's prize in Isle of Man, a very strong open tournament where her husband won the main event.
Yeah, and recently she won the European individual championship. So she's women European champion, very good in Blitz as well. But in this, it was a very strong field, and actually online Blitz is very different.
It is. And I see that Alina offered a draw, but Jazzy71 declined it in a completely drawn rook endgame. Is she trying to flag Alina?
Playing all the time. Flagging. Do you think flagging is ethical?
Well, it's a blitz tournament, so I guess it's your right to try. But hey, Black has given up the G pawn to try to go on. Is this really serious? She doesn't want to make a draw. She's gonna lose if she continues like this.
Yeah, I think it will be drawn very soon. Yeah, they agreed. But kudos for effort.
Yeah, the fighting spirit in today's event, I think, has been stellar. We can only congratulate all the participants for how they competed in today's 10-round event. And we see the tournament being over. At the leaderboard is the following. Third place goes to Marshenka 97. That is Maria Beskorovina from the Ukraine. Second place going to Mielo 91. Women Grandmaster Hoang Chi Bao Tam from Vietnam. And the first place and qualification spot for Grandmaster Elina Danielian from Armenia. Congratulations to all three medalists and to all the participants for making this epic tournament, the first ever Women's Speed Chess Championship.
Yeah, it was very strong, very exciting, full of mouse sleeps, I think, blunders, and exciting chess. And well done once again. Congratulations to all the winners, to Alina especially, because she qualified for the match, and we're going to see her play against Katerina Lachno on 22nd of May, and we will be hosting the event once again, and I'm very much looking forward to that.
I'm also so looking forward to it. I hope that you guys have had a good time into this qualifier tournament. Let us know in the chat before we say goodbye. Let us know, what did you think of this format, the Blitz games with 3+1. It's a very fast-paced event, not so easy to cover many games. We tried our best to talk about as many of the participants as possible. Alexandra had her own show, her own stream. She's still streaming, so make sure to check out Alexandra. I think we may be even raiding her. I don't have the confirmation yet, but I'm pretty sure we will all end up going to Alexandra's channel. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Remember that the next match, as Sopiko said, is on May the 22nd. It's going to be Sopiko and myself covering the match between the qualifier of today, Elina Danielian, facing the top seed, Katerina Lano, 3-time individual European champion, Katerina Lano, and also Olympic medalist with the team of Russia. So that's going to be on May the 22nd. And I'm also looking forward to the feature that Sopiko mentioned, that at the speeches events, we have the player cams. So you get to see the reaction of the players after a mistake, how they feel when they win a great game. And we will get to talk to them. So we will also have player interviews during those matches.
Yeah, that's going to be great. We also have different formats in the matches. We are having blitz and we are having bullet as well. Have you ever played bullet? I'm so excited to cover the bullet, but I don't know how it is.
Playing bullet, Sopiko, me and bullet are two very different terms.
Well, we will play, and I think that we should, guys, let me help me to force Anna to play the bullet and string. I would like to see that.
Let's make a deal, Sopiko. Let's make a deal. Guys, I have an idea. We all want Sopiko to have her own Twitch channel. This is your moment, guys. Support me. Back me up in the chat. We all want Sopiko to start streaming on Twitch. So if Sopiko has her own Twitch channel, I'm accepting to play loads of blitz games, bullet games.
Bullet games.
Where shall I sign? I'm signing it right now. Where shall I sign? I'm gonna do that.
Okay. It's a big step. Very, very big step for me, but I think it's worth it, because I do want to see Anna playing bullet, because you're always like, I'm so slow, but I think you're doing great, and you're just, I'm slow and it's my mouse skills and so on, but I think it would be great to have Anna streaming bullet. So I'm gonna sign.
Awesome. Handshake. Yay, we did it. Chat, we did it. Sopiko will have her own channel. I'm gonna lose all my bullet games, but who cares, because I have made Sopiko sign. a deal with the devil. She's gonna have her own Twitch channel. Yay! Look at the chat going wide because of you having your own Twitch channel.
Poggers to you.
Poggers, definitely poggers. Thanks everyone for joining us for today's first ever Women's Speed Chess Championship. Remember, it's a $20,000 prize fund. 8-player field. Elina Danielian has qualified and she will play her first match on May the 22nd. Sopiko and myself will be covering the match here on twitch.tv/chess or Chess TV, wherever you are watching. Make sure to come back on May the 22nd. And thank you one more time for being here with us. We may be raiding, but I'm not sure. So stay here. Just let's all say hi to Alexandra if we are going to her channel. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much for being here and for bearing us for a whole 2 hours.
I'm going to show my mug before we say goodbye. This is a present I got from Sopiko 5 years ago.
Oh, we were so young.
Us 5 years ago. This is how it looked 5 years ago.
Both with long hair. Where did it go?
I don't know. Time is passing. We'll be back on May the 22nd. See you guys shortly. Well, before that, I'll be on my own channel too, but see you at the Women's Speed Chess Championship on May the 22nd. Bye.
Bye. See you.